Good morning, my darlings. How are you all today? I woke up this morning convinced that it was Sunday, and so I started making preparations as though it's Sunday. And then it just so happens that I checked the weather report because I was planning on doing something on Sunday and discovered that in fact it's Saturday. I still can't get over it. It's Saturday, the 4th of January. And yeah, what are you up to, my darling? I hope that whatever you're up to, it's good for you. And that you are doing well. Yeah, so what did I want to talk about today? I think I have about four different videos I wanted to make today. Let's see where I got with the list. Because typically these days I'm like, oh, I want to do four videos, and then I end up with just two, because it takes some energy, But before I do that, I wanted to take the time to say thank you to you, whoever you are, for um, watching my videos, even if it's your first time, even if you only last a few minutes. Some people bounce. Like one woman came on one time and she's like, oh my God, I bounced after 2 seconds or something like that. But she left a comment. So that must have taken a bit more than 2 seconds. But even if you bounce, before the end of the video, I do appreciate the fact that you have stopped to listen to at least a portion of it. It makes a difference in the algorithms and in, I guess, ultimately the success of the channel if I ever get to that point, right? I'm trying. It's not simple. I appreciate every single person who listens to my videos. Maybe you could say that I don't appreciate every single comment that you leave, and so I'm guilty of that. If I don't like the comments, depending on how bad it is, I typically might not, approve it. But and I know that every comment helps the algorithms to sort of recognize the channel as a channel that a lot of people but 50% of my comments I'm having to like not approve it. It's not good, but um I'm trying not to censor everyone and every comment that I don't like, but at the same time I don't want my channel and the comment section of my channel to become overrun with like this kind of waste material. It's to me it's like your channel comment page becomes like a field of dung. D-U-N-G, dung. Do you know what dung is? And I don't want my channel to become that. So I typically would not approve comments, especially when dealing with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I'm big fans of that, and you come on and you're a hater. It's not really your sort of there are many channels on YouTube where you can find an outlet to say all of that stuff, and coming and just pelting it onto my channel, to me it's kind of like just leaving a cow dung on my channel. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not trying to censor everybody. It's okay to have a different opinion. Sometimes I do approve comments that are not you know sort of aligned with the way I see things, but some of them are really severe and just I can't. Anyway, my darlings, so it's Saturday, as I said, and what did I want to talk about today? So the first one we can talk about is Laura Loomer. She is, I'm not an expert on who she is, but I know she's associated with MAGA, Make America Great Again, base MAGA, not tech MAGA. So she has been embroiled in this big fight with Elon Musk, where she basically said some choice things about him, including that he's a welfare queen and you know, a whole lot of things that I guess you don't say about a friend, you know. And it's been going back and forth, and so people have been calling it a bit of a civil war. And so Laura Loomer has been saying that Trump, um, he he's not. She said, "I'm not saying that he's bought and sold by billionaires, but so that she's saying that essentially and effectively and impliedly, she's saying that he's bought and sold by billionaires, billionaire being Elon Musk and his ilk. And so she's been very, I mean, and I'm sure you all know this even better than I do, very vocal about the fact that she feels that, um, this is not what base MAGA voted for. This isn't um, these are not the sort of like with the H-1B visa and I guess many other things that she's not even saying, because I'm sure things like Doge and the implied threat to cut Social Security for Americans, I don't think a lot of people in base MAGA would agree with that, because like myself, I'm not MAGA, obviously, but they are, low income people who are depending on their Social Security as perhaps their main source, if not their only source of income when they reach retirement age. They worked all their lives. Maybe they didn't make as much as Elon Musk, but then again, who has? And, the idea that, you have this rich guy from Silicon Valley or wherever he's based these days coming in with his billionaire friend Vivek Ramaswamy, talking about government efficiency and cutting Social Security, is something that I think will cause a civil war in the country. And I think the people who will be most expressive of their discontent will be base MAGA types of people. And sometimes I find that if January 6th is um, any indication, that they can be a little bit violent sometimes. So I think that if Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and Trump by association insists on making all of these cuts that were not part of the mandate, like when Trump ran for president, I don't think he said to anybody, I'm going to appoint Vivek and Elon to Doge, and they're going to make these cuts to Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. I think if he had done so, these people probably wouldn't have voted for him. I mean, it's hard to say, because I think a lot of people who support Mr. Trump support him no matter what. So if he says, well, you guys, listen, I know you need your Social Security checks, but it's bankrupting the government, and I'm trying to have an efficient government, so I want to cut your Social Security from 1,700 a month, for example, to I don't know, 1,500 a month. It's only $200, and I know that it will be difficult, but I really need you to do this for the good of the country. I think I think some of these people would have been okay with it if he had said so from the beginning, if that makes sense. But 2 seconds, can I just have a sip of my water? It's quite hot, and so I'm trying to get it to cool before I take a sip of it. 2 seconds. I have to do that because YouTube likes to take me at these. When I take a sip, um, you know, YouTube likes to do something very, very sneaky by stopping the video at that one moment where it's not so cute. Anyway, so back to Laura Loomer. So I don't think that any of the base MAGA people, or that most of them anyway, would have voted for Trump had he indicated while running that he was going to bring on Elon and Vivek and all these other billionaires to take away $1,700 a month from, you know, working class Americans. And I think a lot of these types of people are the base of MAGA is they're working class Americans. They're not rich, they're not middle class, they're just working class or even lower, poor, And, they voted for Trump because, they wanted to throw out the immigrants and, they were convinced that groceries were too high and so on and so forth. And I think for some of these people, it's starting to seem like, you know, these issues are on the back burner if they're even on the agenda at all. It seems to me that the agenda is more about, Trump's lawsuits and getting those resolved and picking a lot of very, interesting people for positions and other things, whether it is taking back the Panama Canal or, tariffs or, things like that. And so Laura Loomer was talking with Steve Bannon, who I guess was, I mean, I'm not an expert on this, I barely follow this, but, he was a BFF of Trump's during the first Trump administration back in 2016 to 2020. And I think he went to prison. Not I think, he did go to prison for a stint for something related to his association with Trump, I believe. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the thing with Trump, obviously, is that everybody around him, I mean, not everybody, but a lot, end up going to prison for issues somehow tangentially related to Trump, which is very interesting. Trump never um, ends up in this place. I admire him for that. I'm like, wow, how do you do that? I mean, he's really the ultimate Teflon Don because even with like the Michael Cohen situation, where clearly if Michael Cohen is guilty, then it means that there's some culpability there with with Trump, but he will not be doing any prison time for that. In fact, I saw, if it's the same case, I believe it is, that the judge in New York is Judge Merchan or something like that. I'm not even sure, has indicated that he's ready to sentence Mr. Trump. He will be sentencing him, I think, around January 10th, January 15th, something like that. And he's already indicated that there will be no jail time for Mr. Trump, but that, he would, that Mr. Trump has to appear virtually for the sentencing relating to this case. And so it's very fascinating how Trump never ends up in this kind of trouble, which is why somebody like Elon Musk, I think, has to be careful just because Trump will not. I mean, Trump will be untouchable. If anything goes down, anything at all that is not kosher, legally kosher, um, and Musk is anywhere near it, he will pay the price for both him and Trump. And that's something I think that he needs to be very, very careful about because the people love Trump. Trump has a certain level of, I think, emotional intelligence that is, unusually high. He has an unusually high level of emotional intelligence. He knows exactly how to get people to support him and to be on his side and um, to cut him, slack. And he knows people. He knows how to deal with people, how to rile them up. And Elon, I don't think has the same thing. And we see this with Laura Loomer. She's not really talking about Trump, even though Trump is the one who's picking all of these people and, bringing them into his inner circle. And I think to a large part, Laura Loomer feels left out because, if you recall during the campaign, apparently she used to go with Trump on the private jet, and so he really made her feel very special. And it seems, because I haven't seen any stories, I follow quite a few YouTubers like Ben Mysalis and David Pakman and Don Lemon and people like that. They have not said anything about Laura Loomer being at Mar-a-Lago, and I know that they would have if she had been there, but she has not been there because I would imagine that if Trump had invited her there, she would have been there, like, she would have telecommuted there, like she would have been there like that. So the fact that she has not been seen at Mar-a-Lago, but instead you have Trump announcing how all these billionaires are coming down, from Bill Gates to Elon Musk to the Facebook guy, whatever his name is. What is his name? The guy from Facebook. I can't remember right now. All of these billionaires, Sergey from Google, and Sundar, and all of these people are going down to see Trump. And so Laura Loomer is looking at this, I think, and she's like, wait a minute, what am I suddenly chopped liver? I mean, during the campaign, you were courting me, and, courting in quotes, he's a married man, but he was definitely making her feel very important and very special. And then suddenly she's not getting invited to Mar-a-Lago, but all these billionaires are getting invited to Mar-a-Lago, especially Elon Musk. I think she's become disgruntled, and I think she's going to be trouble for them, especially once Trump is sworn in and Elon starts with his, whatever he's doing over there. So, with Doge and things and other things, I imagine. So I think Trump definitely has a Laura Loomer problem brewing because, with her and Steve Bannon and that whole faction of MAGA being against Elon, and, they have an interest in breaking up Elon and Trump's relationship. I think obviously Steve Bannon might be a little bit jealous because he was also in the inner circle even more than Laura Loomer for a longer period of time. And suddenly, he went off to jail, he got out, and suddenly um, it seems like he's not really as in as he used to be, to me anyway. So I think he's become a little bit jealous, and he sees a kindred spirit in people like Laura Loomer, and they're going to form a really sort of, I don't even know what the word would be, but that branch of MAGA is going to turn completely on Donald Trump and Elon Musk if Trump insists on um, keeping Elon in the inner circle, right? But I mean, everybody agrees, and I think I do too, that this relationship between Trump and Elon is unsustainable for many reasons. One is the press is interested in seeing it bust up, so they're going to write a lot of stories about it to bust it up. But two is you're going to have some pushback from MAGA itself. You already see that there's this quote unquote civil war that's brewing, and they're going to put pressure on Trump. And three is, I think, Trump's own ego and sort of, because Elon Musk is kind of, um, it's almost like he's usurped Trump. Even on my YouTube channel, I was looking at, I was like, wait a minute, I talk more about Elon Musk than I do about Trump these days. So it says that Elon Musk has, he's sort of just outshine Trump in a certain way. And I don't think it's sustainable. Trump is not going to appreciate that for very long, and so you're probably going to have a bust up. But anyway, even if you don't have a bust up, I think it will become necessary for Trump and perhaps Elon as well to placate Laura Loomer and that faction of MAGA if they want peace in the country. Because that faction of MAGA, I think they were the January 6th type of people. I mean, I'm not saying that Laura Loomer did anything on January 6th, but it strikes me that that's a type of MAGA she represents. And they don't play, obviously. And so if they feel betrayed or sort of shortchanged or duped, I think it would be a lot of trouble for Trump and Elon. And yeah, I think they're going to have to, placate her a little bit if they're smart, invite her down to Mar-a-Lago or to the inauguration or whatever. Elon will have to maybe be her escort, her date at the inauguration. Although he seems to only take his mother to this kind of stuff, which is very bizarre, come to think of it. Because he does have does he not have a wife or well, he at least has some baby mamas, I think, like about 2 or 3 baby mamas. But he always seems to take his mother to these things. But he might think about, taking Laura and placating her and sort of pulling her into the fold, because I think she's feeling left out, and it's going to be a major problem for Trump before you know it. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'm not even sure what I'm going to call this particular video. Trump's Laura Loomer problem. I don't know. But see you in the next one, you guys. Take care. Oh, if you're not yet following this YouTube channel, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button right now. I should say that sooner in the video because I'm sure that most people don't get to this point in the video. Um, yeah, so if you got to this point in the video, you're not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe and help me out with the algorithms if you like this content, right? See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.